ASMR video. And in this one, we are going to be doing another tier list video, and we're going to continue the trend that I've been doing and do horror franchises. I've been specifically sticking with slashers. I did Halloween, actually. I take that back. I thought I've done more movie series. All I did was the Halloween franchise and then the Michael Myers masks. Now, at some point, I might start branching out a bit more and do, like, the Michael Myers characters themselves. So, like, each individual performance, like Dick Warlock and Nick Castle and Tyler Mane and all of that. But for now, I think I'm just gonna do the main obvious things. Like I could do the final girl from Halloween's or whatever, but I'm gonna stick, like I said, to the obvious. So for Child's Play, I will do the movies and then the Chucky dolls, and then I'll probably, leave it at that. Eventually, I could do like the opening scenes and stuff like that, and then maybe the characters. But again, I hope to do that more when the channel grows a bit more, because I just don't think those specific videos would do as well. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm rambling. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, Child's Play, as I have said before on this channel, was, I'm pretty positive, the first scary movie I ever saw. Saw it when I was like 4, cried at the end. I was so scared, and I've been hooked ever since. So this franchise has a very special place in my heart. I have a Chucky and Tiffany doll. I've had them for years and years and years. Actually, gosh, I've had them most of my life at this point now, I think. So it's not my all-time favorite franchise. That would be Scream, but this is right up there. It's got that special place in my heart. So if you're unfamiliar with how the tier list works, S tier is, you can't get any better. It's a near perfect film. A tier is damn good, just not perfect. B tier, really good, solid. C tier, meh, average. D, not very good at all, but it's watchable. I'll watch it in a marathon or something like that. And F tier should not have been made and is a disgrace to the franchise. So now, I think I need to say this. I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to. This is my opinion, and my opinion only. If yours is different, that's awesome. Let me know in the comments. But don't get all mad and offended if I like a movie you hate or hate a movie you like. So, I shouldn't have to say that. But, with the internet and the world today, I have to. First up is Child's Play, the original from, I believe, 1988. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Like I said, this was the first movie I saw that introduced me to this genre and subgenre, for that matter. And it's going to be A or S. I'm leaning towards A, simply because, while it is a pioneer in horror, it's a pioneer in slashers, and it is a pioneer in the killer doll super subgenre of movies. It's not one that really holds up very well, if that makes sense. It does. It's still creepy, don't get me wrong. But because at the time, you didn't have all the advanced electronics and robotics, that's the word I'm looking for, as you do later on in the franchise. A lot of the movie you don't see Chucky move. And when you do, a lot of the overhead shots and stuff like that, like when Andy's in the hospital, it's actually just a little person in a costume. And you can see, if you look at it, that looks very big, and it's one of those things you can't hate on it, because it's what you had to work with at the time, and you do see it move. I could be wrong, but I think the first time is when he goes Charles Lee Ray how to do voodoo. You see him move there when he's in the windowsill and everything, but it's very limited. But I do like how they did it because it builds up the suspense. It's one of those movies where you're not necessarily introduced to the image of Chucky. You are, but he's just a doll. You know, when you see him move, he's like running past the hallway very quickly. You know, you don't get that close-up of him moving, but when that reveal happens, you're like, oh, damn, you know? So, for the simple fact that it does show its age, I'm gonna keep it in A tier. It feels wrong to not put it in S tier. I still could, you know, I mean, my opinion does change as I'm making these, but for right now, we'll keep it in a very, very, very high A tier, borderline A plus, essentially. Next up, Child's Play 2. Now, this is one that I didn't love growing up. I liked it, but for some reason, it was probably the one that I watched the least, and I don't know why. The older I get, the more I appreciate it, and I think this one has a very good story. I like the relationship that Andy has with Kyle, his foster sister. Kyle's a great character. It shows that, like, she's the rebel, and she kinda, you know, smoking cigarettes, not really caring, whatever, and then, like, she shows her soft side as she realizes that, oh my god, there's a killer doll after my foster brother, and really is the protector. And then the ending, when they're in the factory, and you get, like, that mutant, sludgy Chucky, it's just very good. And this movie builds up suspense very well. So did the original, for that matter. But this one, the suspense build-up is very nice. You have the typical theme in these movies where Andy's foster parents don't believe him because, you know, who's going to believe that there's a killer doll on the loose? And Kyle doesn't believe him either, and he's just, you know, sad. And you feel for Andy. You feel for him a lot in the first one, too. When he's in the hospital and the doctor, like, locks him in the thing, and he's like, but Chucky's gonna kill me, and he starts crying. You're like, oh, Andy. I'm gonna put it in, I think, A tier. A or B. I don't know. I'll keep it in B for now. But I got a feeling it might move up to A. We'll see how this plays out. Child's Play 3. Now, this has a soft spot in my heart for sure. This was like the one that I watched the most as a kid. I don't know why, but I would play this on DVD like all the time. I just loved it. I don't know what it was. I just really, really loved this movie. Now, if you asked me as a kid, I would, see, this is where it gets difficult. Do I take into account the nostalgia factor? Because I feel like just as a movie itself, Child's Play 2 is probably better. But there's that place in my heart that Child's Play 3 has, and I just don't know if I could put it below. You know what I mean? I will say the thing that Child's Play 2 has going for it is you still have Andy, the original Andy Barkley, as a kid. And then with Child's Play 3, it's just a different actor. He's like 17, 16. He's in, what do you call it? Not the army, but like the army camp for youths and stuff like that. The drill instructor, he's a terrible, a great antagonist because you root against him, but you know, it's the point. Or is he a drill instructor? I'm not sure. And then I like the aspect of, you know, Chucky forgetting or dismissing Andy, and he tells the new kid his secret that he's Charles Lee Ray, and goes to do the Damballa soul transferring of the souls to him. It's just a very unique movie, being set in like the boot camp. I like that. It's different. I can't think of another horror movie that has that setting. This is hard, man. Like, this is fair. These two are so hard to rank. I never know which one I like more, truthfully. I will say, though, I think Child's Play 2 is definitely scarier. Oh my god. I'm gonna... You know what? And I don't... Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry. This is gonna be difficult for me. I think I am gonna bump these up to A. Or does... Oh, Jesus. I don't know. We'll keep them down at B, and I'll keep Child's Play 2 ahead of it for now. I gotta figure this out. Now this one is easy. Seed of Chucky, S tier. Or sorry, Bride of Chucky, S tier. This is Chucky at its best, in my opinion. Like, this I feel like is where the franchise peaked easily, because you get the iconic stitched Chucky look that everyone knows. You get Jennifer Tilly in the introduction of the Tiffany doll. You get... This is where Chucky starts to have that comedic element to him. You see it a bit in Child's Play 3. And that's kind of where it was introduced. Very rarely with Child's Play 2. The only thing I can think of is like with the ruler, and he's going after the teacher with the yardstick or whatever it is. Child's Play 3 introduces some of that comedy very rarely. Bride of Chucky is where this is like, it's still creepy, but it's also funny, and it's the perfect balance. And then the fact that it's Bride of Chucky, I feel like the casual fans who aren't diehard scary movie fans know this franchise more as Chucky rather than Child's Play, if that makes sense. And this is where it stops being Child's Play and starts being Chucky. So it's S tier. It's one of my favorite scary movies ever. Like, honestly, it's Scream, Bride of Chucky, Halloween 4, Halloween, the original, is up there as well. But yeah, I mean, this is just so good. I love it. I can't say more about it. It's the perfect Chucky movie. There will never be a better one. I don't care. It's perfect. I can't think of one flaw. Like, truthfully, I can't think of one thing about this movie I don't like. Maybe if I sat down and rewatched it, I'd be able to, like, pick little things apart, but I don't know. Next up, Seed of Chucky. Now, most of the fan base would instantly put it in F tier. They hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. I'm not gonna be that brutal. I actually enjoy it. Is it the best? No. It is technically one of the worst in the franchise, but I do not think it's F tier. I like the introduction of Glenn and Glenda. I like that. Now, this does lean more towards the comedy side rather than the creepy side, whereas just Bride of Chucky was scary with a splash of comedy. Seed of Chucky is comedy with a splash of scary. But I don't know, there's something just, I don't want to use the word endearing or wholesome, but I just like the idea that Chucky and Tiffany are parents. It's interesting. You know, they boinked in Bride of Chucky in the hotel room, and at the very end, well, I was gonna say I'm spoiling stuff here, but if you haven't seen the movie at this point, I don't 10 seconds. At the very end, Tiffany gives birth to this weird doll fetus, and then it's, this is where Seed of Chucky comes in. But it's not D tier either. I think I would put it in C tier, because this is like it's average. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I like it. It's a pass. I don't think I would put it in a B tier. If anything, it would be super, super low B. So we'll do a C, a solid C, like a 74%. Just passing. Very solid. Curse of Chucky. Now this is a damn good movie too. There's a lot of things I like about this. I like the fact that they bring in Fiona Dourif as the main protagonist, who is Brad Dourif's real-life daughter, who is the voice of Chucky. Now, on first impression, you would be like, oh my gosh, nepotism much? Because I don't think she's really been in much else prior to this. I'm sure a couple of things, maybe, but I honestly don't know. But she kills it. She is very, very good. I was shocked, truthfully, and I like how they harp back to the original. Like, there's a scene where I think Chucky might have her tied down, and they're watching like old home videos or something like that, and you see Brad Dourif, aka Charles Lee Ray, in the background where Fiona's mother is pregnant, and it was like Charles Lee Ray had this infatuation with Fiona's mother and stuff like that, and I forget the details, but I think it's like something happened between them where I think, again, spoilers here, but I think he cut out Fiona from her mother's stomach, and that's why she's paralyzed, and then he got hunted down by law enforcement, which starts the events of the original Child's Play. So they connect everything, and they do a bit of a prequel scene, and I really, really loved that. I like the model of Chucky too. He starts off as the original Child Play, babyface doll, but it's revealed that it's just makeup, and some character pulls it off, and you see his stitching underneath, and you're like, oh hell yeah. So I appreciate that, and it's just a good story. I love the introduction of what's her name? Fiona Dourif's character. I know it too. It's on the tip of my tongue. Hold on. I'm gonna Google real quick. Cast of Curse of Chucky. Come on. Where you at? Oh, Google's messing with me. Nika. That's right, Nika. I knew it was something unique. I love her character. Very good. I would put this in. I don't think it's quite A tier. It's definitely not C, so this is an easy B tier movie. I think I'm gonna bump Child's Play 2 up to A tier. My nostalgia tells me to put Child's Play, but you know what? If I'm going based off of nostalgia alone, I would put Child's Play 3 in S tier, or a very high A tier. So I'm gonna try to be unbiased with this and look at it as a movie and put it in B tier, but below Curse of Chucky, because it's gotta get that nostalgia bump. It just has to. Next up, although, would that be better? No, because I love Kyle. Kyle definitely puts that to A tier. She is, in my opinion, one of the better supporting cast members of this entire franchise. So, oh god, here we go. either F or D. I don't like this movie. I've only seen it, I think, like twice, maybe even once, and I just remember I was so disappointed because I loved Curse of Chucky so much, and I had such high hopes for this movie, and it's just not good. The idea that Charles Lee Ray is now able to clone himself and basically split his soul up into like 40 different Chucky. Well, I think it's like 6, but. And I think his excuse is he found a new spell in the book he's always read. And I'm like, you're gonna tell me this came out in like 2016? So you're gonna tell me in the last, let's see, 88, 98, 30 years, for 30 years almost, you didn't know about this spell? And it was always, I don't know, they just really diverge from the original lore of Child's Play a lot from this one, and I do not like it. It's not very scary, it's more funny. And you can say that about Seed of Chucky, but at least Seed of Chucky, it still has the Chucky lore to it. I mean, this is just not good. I don't know. I don't like the movie at all. I will say the only thing I do appreciate about it, and I don't know, it might be Curse of Chucky, but I think it is Cult of Chucky, and that is Andy. You see the reintroduction of Andy Barkley, and he's got like the original Chucky head, like the one that tormented him as a kid. Just his head on like a spike, and he's all cut up and burned, and he's got half his head split open, and he's basically Andy's torture puppet to let out all of his anger and frustrations. That was nice. This isn't a movie though where I will like refuse to watch it. I will watch it in marathons, so I'm gonna keep it in D tier for that reason only. Next up is Child's Play 2019. Now this is totally different from the rest. This has no connection to the other movies. It is a standalone movie. A little backstory is when they were making this film, they were also making the Chucky TV show. And I forget the details, but I think it is Don Mancini, the creator of Chucky, was doing the TV show. But, is it whatever studio creates, I don't know if it's Paramount or whatever studio creates Child's Play, they wanted to make a new movie. And there was like a little bit of a headbutting contest there, so the studio only had the rights. Now, again, don't quote me on every little detail here, but this is the gist of it. The studio only had the rights to the first Child's Play movie, nothing else. So they could only have like a mother named Karen, a kid, I don't know if his name was Andy, I think it was. They could have a killer doll, they could have a police officer, like they could have those elements. And so they took all the elements from the original and made a new updated version. So the doll isn't named Chucky, it's named Buddy, I think. And the whole premise, it's this smart AI robot that was made in like a China factory, and the worker took out the programming of this one specific doll because he was mad at his bosses for being underpaid or stuff like that, and then committed suicide. But before he did that, he took out the programming where Buddy could basically go rogue and not follow the rules. The movie Megan took inspiration from this movie, let's just put it that way. And it's different, it's unique, and it's a good movie. I like it. It doesn't necessarily feel like a full Child's Play movie, even though it is, because it's a different timeline and a different story in general. And Mark Hamill voices the Buddy doll, which is very nice because Brad Dourif already committed to the TV show and Don Mancini, so he didn't do the movie. So if you can't get the original voice of Chucky, you get the next best thing, and that's one of the best voice actors and most popular ones ever in Mark Hamill. So I would put this in B tier, a very solid B, still below these two, but B nonetheless. None of these are a low B. Child's Play 3 is a very, 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 very high B. Curse of Chucky is a upper middle B. I'd give this like an 88, 89. This like an 85, 86, and this like an 84. So very good. And that's about it. I'm gonna take one last look. So Cult is definitely D tier. Seed is definitely C tier. Child's Play 2019 is definitely B tier. So is Curse of Chucky. So I'm confident in these four with their ranking. And I'm confident that Seed, sorry, I keep doing that Bride is S tier and the original is A. This is where I'm confused on. Do I want to put Child's Play 2 down here in B? Or do I want to switch it with Child's Play 3? Or do I want to put Child's Play 3 up in A? Like, I just don't know. I definitely think Child's Play 2 is at least A tier. Do I want to do that? Do I put them both in A tier? No, you know what? Again, I'm going to take the nostalgia out of it. And there are some elements that I don't like. Again, the fact that you don't see young Andy. Child's Play 2 definitely gets the nudge from a cinematic point, so I'll keep it there. Sorry, we got someone talking loud outside. I'll go ahead and keep this down to a B, a very high B. Yeah, so Bride, S. Child's Play and Child's Play 2, A. Child's Play 3, Curse of Chucky, and the 2019 in B. Seed in C, and then Cult in D. I think I'm confident with that. I'm gonna just commit to it and say nothing else. That is it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like and hit subscribe for more content like this. The next one that I'm going to be doing is the Chucky dolls themselves, every iteration of it, and there is a lot. That includes when he's burnt at the end of the original, when he's melting at the end of the second, so there's gonna be a lot to this next video, but that is it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.